everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to discuss about taking care of the vagina without the crazy powders, soaps, stones, the vagina tightening things, the natural ways to make sure that our Miss V is well taken care of. Can a vagina be loose? Can a vagina lose its elasticity? Yes, it can, and it does. So what are some of the things that will cause a vagina to loosen up? One, there is the rough sex. Your elasticity down there is going to be compromised because you want it hit hard. If you like it rough, make sure that you have something like a lubricant to make sure that there is continuous lubrication all through the process. The second thing, that is overdouching, will make your vagina loose. How? Douching reduces the flora and it alters the pH of that area. That is the bacteria down there. They line the vaginal walls. When you wipe out all that, what happens is that your muscles down there will not be relaxing as good as it should when you're having penetrative sex. So the other thing that will make your vagina loosen up is frequent UTIs or STIs. That is bad for your vagina. So if you have any infections, please get treated and make sure that you also get your partner treated. Because again, overuse of antibiotics wipe out both the good and the bad bacteria. If your gut flora is compromised, your vaginal flora will also be compromised and you will be prone to more infections. So when you get an infection, make sure that you have it treated, and you can also use the natural remedies to try and also load up that area. You can splash some yogurts here and there without sugar. Also, another thing on the infections is also making sure that you have a faithful partner, or be faithful, or use protections when you're having sex. If you have multiple partners, or if you know your partner is not faithful, so that you stop the infections, the recurring infections. It is also important to make sure that you take care of your vagina while you clean it up nicely. Don't insert things inside your vagina. Let the area self-cleanse because it is able to take care of itself. Have proper self-hygiene, like shower once or twice a day. There's a lot of moisture accumulation. If you don't take care of your hygiene levels well, it can make that place a bit uncomfortable and dirty and create a hub for infections. Having talked about some of the things that will make your vagina off, or it will make it loose, so what are some of the things that can make a vagina tight? One of the natural ways of taking care of your vagina is, of course, increasing your intake of fermented foods like the mala, the yogurts, fermented cabbages, carrots, fermented legumes. You can also take a probiotic supplement. If you do antibiotics, once you're done with your antibiotic therapy, to replace what you've lost. And apart from that, intake of fibers, both soluble and insoluble, is very important because it will help in capturing the good bacteria and feeding it so that they reproduce, and they make sure that your stomach has enough supplies so that your urethra can also get a good supply of it, and your vaginal fluids are also going to be as healthy as they can be. Another thing is do Kegels. The easiest way to do a Kegel is not holding urine when you're going to the toilet. That is not even recommended. It is really recommended that you flush out the toxins completely when you're peeing. Kegels, you can do them when you're walking and when you're going about your day-to-day activities. I'm doing a Kegel because I'm trying to explain it. You just hold your muscles, then you let them go. You hold them nicely, you let them go. You can also do the glute bridges. The squats, they're very good for the pelvic floor muscles, so that you strengthen the muscles. Another thing that you can do to increase the elasticity down there is increase your water intake. Water is important because it helps in flushing out toxins, helping in maintaining the pH of that area. This reduces infection. It makes that area clean and fresh. The next thing that you can do is avoid multiple partners because of infections. If your thing is rough sex, you can always have lube. Lube is important to make sure that you are well lubricated before you start. And also another thing, vitamin C rich foods, they are very, very important for your vaginal health. It's just like any other system in your body. It needs to be taken care of. You need to protect infections. You need to make sure that you're wearing the right panties, that is the cotton panties. And also where you're sleeping, make sure it's clean. Your bed sheets, air your duvet, air your mattresses, have them cleaned every once in a month. Another thing is reduce intake of drugs like alcohol, smoking. Smoking is very bad for the vagina, by the way. People will tell you, oh, I smoke weed and my vagina is tight as fuck. You can get away with so much in your youth. When age catches up with you, imagine getting all these problems like when you're 35. The other thing, if you think your vagina is too wide, someone might think, okay, I gave birth, I had an episiotomy, maybe I had sex too early, my vaginal area expanded. It is very possible for the vagina to expand, especially if you have sex too soon before you get healed well, or if you don't take care of it well. And the problem is that during the last trimester, your vagina is usually preparing for the way for the child. Contraction usually reduces. When you give birth, you're supposed to give yourself time to heal and also start working on the pelvic floor muscles to restore the elasticity. So imagine you've given birth, you've gone home because you're a husband pleaser, or you want to please your man so much, you start having sex in the second week. Maybe you didn't even get an episiotomy, maybe you didn't even get a tear, but your elasticity has not gone back. It is important to wait a bit after childbirth so that you can heal well. That is why our grandparents were allowed a second wife or something. They had to allow their wives to get healed for the first 3 months after childbirth. I don't know who we are proving ourselves to. We want to go have sex immediately after giving birth because you think that will not make the man cheat. If he's to cheat, he will still cheat. When you give it to him so soon, and then ikuwe mtaro hivi, he'll be the first one to leave. So make sure that you take care of your vagina. The other thing is avoiding the soaps, powders, the crazy stones. They never work. They just rip your vagina off its moisture. The muscular contractions becomes even harder. You think that you're becoming tight. You're dehydrating your cells and your vagina. That is basically how they work. So you need to stop that. Unless it's hormonal therapy whereby it's estrogen. Estrogen, it usually improves vaginal lubrication if you're having dry vagina and such. If it's not medicational, it's not prescribed, it's just something that you've seen on Instagram, they're selling vagina tightening things. Don't do that. If you have so much concerns about your vagina's size, you can always go to any public hospital, by the way, and book for surgical operations where they can reduce it in size. It is possible. Don't be ashamed. Take care of your vagina. Don't do crazy creams, don't do crazy powders. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe and let's grow. Thanks for listening, and bye.